The early modern times in Romania started after the death of Michael the Brave, who ruled in a personal union of Wallachia, Transylvania and Moldavia, three principalities in the lands that now form Romania, for 3 months. In 1600, the three principalities were subjected to the Ottoman Empire, and paid a yearly tribute to the Ottoman Sultans, but they preserved their internal autonomy. In contrast, Dobruja and Banat were fully incorporated into the Ottoman Empire. The Orthodox princes of Wallachia and Moldavia ruled the realms with absolute power, but the boyars took control of state administration in the 1660s and 1670s. The growing influence of Greeks caused bitter conflicts in both principalities. Due to extensive taxation, the peasants often rebelled against the lords. The long reign of Matthew Basarab in Wallachia and of vassal Lupa in Moldavia contributed to the development of local economy. Most princes of Wallachia and Moldavia also paid tribute to the princes of Transylvania. The latter administered the realm in cooperation with the Diet composed of the representatives of the Hungarian noblemen, the Transylvanian Saxons and the Sekirs, and of delegates appointed by the monarchs. In the principality, Catholicism, Lutheranism, Calvinism, and Unitarianism enjoyed an official status. Romanians had no representatives in the Diet, and their Orthodox religion was only tolerated. The three outstanding princes, the Calvinists Stephen Bocskai, Gabriel Bethlen, and George I Rákóczi, expanded the countries and defended the liberties of the estates in Royal Hungary against the Habsburgs in the first half of the 17th century. During this period, the Romanian lands were characterized by the slow disappearance of the feudal system. The leadership of some rulers like Dumitru Cantemir in Moldavia, Constantine Brâncoveanu in Wallachia, Gabriel Bethlen in Transylvania, the Phanariad epoch, and the appearance of the Russian Empire as a political and military influence. Background: the lands that now form Romania were divided among various polities in the Middle Ages. Banat, Crișana, Maramureș and Transylvania were integrated into the Kingdom of Hungary. Wallachia and Moldavia developed into independent principalities in the 14th century. Dobruja emerged as an autonomous realm after the disintegration of Bulgaria in the 1340s. In accordance with the Byzantine political traditions, the princes of Wallachia and Moldavia were autocrats who ruled with absolute power. Any male member of the royal families could be elected prince, which caused internal strives, giving pretext to the neighboring powers for intervention. Most princes of Wallachia accepted the suzerainty of the kings of Hungary. The Moldavian monarchs preferred to yield to the kings of Poland. Royal councils, which consisted of the Logofat, the Vornik, and other high officials, assisted the monarchs. But the princes could also discuss the most important matters at the assembly of the Orthodox clergy, the boyars and the army. The Orthodox Church, especially the monasteries, held extensive domains in both principalities. The boyars were landowners who enjoyed administrative and judicial immunities. A group of free peasants existed in each principality, but the prince's most subjects were serfs, the Rumeni in Wallachia, and the Vecini in Moldavia, who paid tithes or provided specific services to the lords. Gypsy slaves also played an eminent role in the economy, especially as blacksmiths, basket makers, and gold washers. The Kingdom of Hungary were divided into counties. The heads of most counties were directly subordinated to the sovereign, with the exception of the 7 Transylvanian counties which were under the authority of a higher royal official, the voivode. Assemblies of noblemen were the most important administrative bodies in the counties. In Transylvania, the voivodes held joint assemblies. In theory, all noblemen enjoyed the same privileges. For instance, they were exempted of taxes. However, the so-called conditional nobles, including the Romanian sneezes and the nobles of the church, did not have the same liberties. They paid taxes or rendered specific services either to the monarch or to the lords. The Transylvanian Saxons, whose territories were divided into seats, formed an autonomous community which remained independent of the authority of the voivodes. The Hungarian-speaking Szekelys, who lived in the easternmost part of Transylvania, were also organized into seats. On the 16th of September 1437, the Transylvanian noblemen and the heads of the Saxon and Szekely communities concluded an alliance, the Union of the Three Nations, against the Hungarian and Romanian peasants who had risen up in open rebellion. This union developed into the constitutional framework of the administration of Transylvania in the next decades. Within the peasantry, Romanians had a special position. For instance, they did not pay the ecclesiastic tithe payable by all Catholic peasants. The expansion of the Ottoman Empire reached the Danube around 1390. The Ottomans invaded Wallachia in 1390 and occupied Dobruja in 1395. Wallachia paid tribute to the Ottomans for the first time in 1417, Moldavia in 1456. However, the two principalities were not annexed. The princes were only required to assist the Ottomans in the military campaigns. The most outstanding 15th-century Romanian monarchs, Vlad the Impaler of Moldavia and Stephen the Great of Moldavia, were even able to defeat the Ottomans in major battles. In Dobruja, which was included in the Silistran Iyale, Nogai Tartars settled and the local gypsy tribes converted to Islam. The disintegration of the Kingdom of Hungary started with the Battle of Mohacs on the 29th of August 1526. The Ottomans annihilated the royal army and Louis II of Hungary perished. Rivalries between the partisans of the two newly elected kings, John Zapolya and Ferdinand of Habsburg, caused a civil war. Ferdinand I's attempt to reunite the country after Zapolya's death provoked a new Ottoman campaign. The Ottomans seized Buda, the capital of Hungary, on the 29th of August 1541. But the Ottoman Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent granted the lands east of the river Tisa to Zapolya's infant son, John Sigismund Zapolya. The war between the two kings continued, enabling the Ottomans to expand the rule. The greater part of Banat fell to the Ottomans and was transformed into an Ottoman province centered in Timișoara in 1552. Reformation spread in the lands under the rule of John Sigismund. The Diet of Turda of 1568 declared that the faith is a gift of God, allowing each village to freely elect the pastors. In practice, only four denominations, Catholicism, Lutheranism, Calvinism, and Unitarianism, enjoyed a privileged status. Orthodoxy and Judaism were only tolerated, and all other denominations were forbidden. The Reformation also contributed to the spread and development of vernacular literature. The first Romanian book was printed in Sibiu in 1544. Decrees passed at the Diet of Transylvania were published in Hungarian from 1565. John Sigismund renounced the title of king and adopted the new title of Prince of Transylvania and parts of the Kingdom of Hungary on the 16th of August 1570. The Romanian historian Nicolae Iger described Wallachia and Moldavia as Byzantium after Byzantium. Indeed, especially after the disintegration of the Kingdom of Hungary, Byzantine cultural influence increased in both principalities. The rulers, who remained the only Orthodox monarchs in southeastern Europe, adopted the elements of the Protocol of the one-time Imperial Court of Constantinople and supported Orthodox institutions throughout the Ottoman Empire. The international status of the two principalities also changed in the 1530s and 1540s. Although neither Wallachia nor Moldavia were integrated into the Dar al-Islam, or the domain of Islam, the influence of the Ottoman Empire increased and the princes were prohibited to conclude treaties with foreign powers. The Ottomans also hindered the princes from coining money, for which the use of foreign currency became widespread in Moldavia and Wallachia. A new war, the so-called 15 Years' War, broke out between the Ottoman Empire and the Habsburgs in 1591. Sigismund Bathory, Prince of Transylvania, entered into an alliance with Rudolf II, Holy Roman Emperor, in 1595. Michael the Brave, Prince of Wallachia, accepted Bathory's suzerainty, agreeing that the Diet of Transylvania would introduce taxes in Wallachia. Stefan Razvan, Prince of Moldavia, also swore loyalty to Bathory, who thus became the sovereign of the three principalities. However, Stefan Razvan was soon dethroned. The Ottomans routed the Christian army in the Battle of Mezocharistes in October 1596, and Bathory abdicated in favor of Emperor Rudolf in April 1598. Michael the Brave accepted the emperor's suzerainty, but Sigismund Bathory's cousin Andrew Bathory, who seized Transylvania with Polish assistance, yielded to the Ottomans in the name of the three principalities in 1599. Michael the Brave invaded Transylvania and defeated Andrew Bathory in the Battle of Selimbar on 28 October 1599. He entered Alba Iulia, where the Diet recognized him as the emperor's lieutenant. Michael the Brave also occupied Moldavia in May 1600, uniting the three principalities under his rule. However, the Transylvanian nobleman rose up against Michael the Brave and defeated him in the Battle of Miroslav on 18 September 1600. The Poles invaded Moldavia and Wallachia, assisting Iremia Movila and Simeon Movila to seize these principalities. Michael the Brave tried to return with Emperor Rudolf's assistance, but he was murdered on 19 August 1601 near Campia Terzi at the orders of Giorgio Bastar, the commander of the imperial troops. The nobleman and nearly contemporaneous Hungarian and Saxon historians described Michael the Brave as a tyrant, willing to destroy the landowners with the assistance of Romanian and Secli commoners. On the other hand, the personal union of Wallachia, Transylvania and Moldavia under his rule became a symbol of Romanian national destiny. In the 19th century, end of the 15 Years' War. In Transylvania, extensive taxation, unpaid mercenaries, plundering raids, and attempts to spread Catholicism characterized the rule of Rudolf I's representatives. The Ottomans supported pretenders, including Sigismund Bathory and Moses Sekli, who tried to expel the imperial troops. In Wallachia, Radu Surban, the father-in-law of Michael the Brave's son, seized the throne with Rudolf I's support in July 1602. A year later, he invaded Transylvania, defeated Moses Sekli, and administered the principality in Emperor Rudolf's name until Giorgio Bastar returned in September. Moldavia remained under the rule of Iremia Movila, who attempted to forge a reconciliation between the Ottomans and Poland. The changes and wars have turned into desert. The boroughs and villages have been burned, most of the inhabitants and the cattle killed or driven away. In consequence, taxes, excise, bridge and road tolls yield but little. The mines are deserted, there are no hands to work, and Imperial Commander Giacomo Belgiojoso accused a wealthy Calvinist landowner, Stephen Boxke, of treachery and ordered the forfeiture of his estates in Crisana in October 1604. Bocskai hired at least 5,000 Hajduks, a group of mainly Calvinist runaway serfs and noblemen who had settled in the borderlands, and rose up in open rebellion. After Sultan Ahmed I appointed Bocskai Prince of Transylvania, the three nations swore loyalty to him on 14 September 1605. Bocsky's army invaded Royal Hungary and Austria, forcing the Habsburgs to sign the Peace of Vienna on 23 June 1606. Rudolf I confirmed Bocsky's title of Prince of Transylvania and granted 4 counties in Upper Hungary to him. The 15 Years' War ended with the Peace of Szent-Vitóry, which was signed in November 1606. According to the treaty, Rudolf I acknowledged that the princes of Transylvania were subjected to the sultans. Bocskai, who had realized that only the autonomous status of Transylvania guaranteed the preservation of the liberties of the noblemen in Royal Hungary, emphasized that, as long as the Hungarian crown is with a nation mightier than ours, with the Germans, it will be necessary and expedient to have a Hungarian prince in Transylvania. Bocskai died childless on 29 December 1606.